to show you a quick little hack on how to use the wheel options tracker to track poor man's covered calls. Some advanced traders like to use poor man's covered calls because it's a little bit cheaper and they can leverage their account even more than just buying stock and selling covered calls against it. Now, before we jump into this, I just want to show you how powerful covered calls writing can be. The 1-year rate of return in this account is 31.8%. It has been an absolutely phenomenal year. And you can see this performance just goes up and up and up. So I make monthly alerts on this account. This is available to members that are in the dividend covered call tier on Patreon. So if you're interested in that, check it out. It's actually one of the ways that you can get the wheel tracker that I'm going to show you today as well, because as a dividend member, you automatically get the wheel tracker for free. If you're an options tier member, you also get the rolling options record keeper. If this is your first time here, my name is Levi Woods. This is Drawbridge Finance. Remember to hit that like button down below. It helps the channel a ton. Anything we talk about here is not recommendations. It's just what I'm doing, what I'm looking at in my account. Now, today I was going to record a trade that I actually did in my Discord. Now, this is in the Rourke, but for those of you who have the wheel tracker, the tab is the same. Down here at the bottom, we have a 0 wheel blank. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to right click on this and choose duplicate. And that's going to make a copy of this. It's very simple. Today, I did a little trade, a poor man's covered call on Amazon. I'm just going to change this to Amazon because that is what I did the leap on. And you'll see that this is connected to 15-minute delayed data, and the stock price automatically pulls up into cell P1 over here. Now, what we're going to look at is a trade that I actually did and alerted in my Discord chat today. This appeared in the chat room under trade alerts, option stocks. And what I did this morning at 8:57 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I alerted this trade reference, Amazon, October 24th. Amazon is trading at 186.16 a share, and today's trade opening in Amazon poor man's covered call November 8th, the minus 182.50 call, and the March 15th plus or long 165 call for a debit of $20.84 or $2,084. My posts always include an image. They're very high res, so you can open this up in your browser if you wish, and if you need to, you can zoom right in. We're going to look down at this bottom portion here, and we're going to look at what I actually did. So I sold a November 8th 182.50 call, and I did that for a credit. I collected about 950 bucks, and then I purchased simultaneously the March 21st of 2025 the 165 call. So I'm long that. What this does is it creates a profit profile that is similar to a covered call. I do have a little bit of a flat spot if the market runs up, but generally speaking, this is way cheaper than buying stock. If I had to buy stock, I would have to pay $18,000 for this trade, and instead I get similar exposure for only $2,000. So it is a fantastic way to leverage my money. This is why I do these trades. So what we're gonna do is look at the actual transactions, and we're gonna record it in the wheel sheet. So typically with this, what I would normally do is I would come down here. If I was doing stock, I would enter today's date. There's a shortcut key for that. You can use Command : if you want to use that. And if I'm going to have to deposit a cash amount for this. So typically, if the stock's trading at 186, I would probably put like $20,000 in here to start, and that would give me a start to this particular trade. But I don't want to do that. I actually want to just record this as a poor man's covered call and not buy stock, which is the typical thing. Normally we would say buy stock is this first line item that I put in here on October 24th. I'm just going to fill in a few of these just to kind of give you an idea of what would be typical of entering a covered call, a buy right covered call. So we're going to sell to open the call, and I'm going to do one of these. I'm going to click on here and I'm going to say, what is the date? We know that this is November 8th. The strike price was a 182.50, and I'm going to click the checkbox to say that it's open. I sold one of these, and the transaction price I'm going to have to go over and get from my brokerage. And then typically we would buy 100 shares, would be like 186, and the commission that we pay maybe $1 for that. So that would be pretty typical entry for the wheel strategy if we were using stocks. But what I'm going to do instead is show you a little trick on how we can use this to record the purchase of a leap. In order to do this, I'm going to click over, I'm going to look in IBKR, I'm going to look at my trades tab, and I'm going to find my Amazon trade. Now this one occurred this morning at 8:55 in the morning, just 2 minutes prior to me posting in the Discord chat. I do post those trades almost immediately. When we look at this, when we break it out, there's two things. The Amazon November 8th, 180 to 50 call, which I sold, and I collected $9.65. I paid a commission of $1.09. That's one line entry. And the other one is going to be the Amazon Leap long call, which I purchased for $30.49. So let's just enter, I'm going to enter the short call in first, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to replace the stock purchase with this long call that I purchased. Okay, so taking a look at what I did, I put in a transaction price of $9.65. That's what I collected as a credit. And my commission on that for selling that call was $1.09. So I'm going to type that in here. And then I'm going to tab over. Now with open calls, I have to put in the current price. Now the current price is exactly what I paid for it or what I collected today. So that's what I'm going to enter in here. This is a variable. It changes over the course of the trade and allows you to keep up to date with the transactions as they occur. But for right now, I'm just going to type in 965. Now, this is how we would typically record just a stock purchase, but you can see it's very, very expensive. Now, what I did instead of buying stock was I actually bought a long call. Now, if you look at this drop down, this sheet is designed for traders that are selling very basic strategies like the wheel. And I didn't want to overcomplicate it. So I didn't put in a parameter in here specifically for buying to open a long call, buying to open a call. But what this sheet does is all it does is it tracks debits and credits. So if I put in here buy to close a call, then, and I enter in the parameters of what this call was, and in this case, this was the March 21st of 25. The strike was a 165 call. And if I put in one of those and I paid a debit of $30.49 and paid a commission of 106, then all of a sudden I have got a line item that works in here. And this makes this sheet function just fine. The debit is appearing here of $3,050 that I paid for that. And then the credit of selling the call appears on the next line. Now, this is actually makes quite a bit of sense because when I go to close this long call at some date later in time, all I'm going to do is sell it back. So now I'm going to sell the call and I'm going to choose sell to open. I'm just doing a reverse order of the operation. And then I would just copy and paste this data in. And remember, when you're using copy paste, always use paste special values only so that it doesn't mess up the formatting in this sheet. We're going to go one here, and whatever value I sell it for, I might sell it for more money. I might sell it for $40. And that would be the plan with a trade like this. But now you'll see it's partial entry. I have to put in a date. Let's try it at a future date. We're going to say November 1st option. So really what I've done is I've got two lines in here. I've got buy to close a call, which really is a buy to open, and then sell to open, which is really a buy to close. Now, the reason I'm not putting it in again for this particular sheet is because it's for simple investors and options are complex enough. If you guys are complex enough traders to be able to figure out how to sell a leap or a poor man's covered call, then you can definitely figure out how to use a buy to close and a sell to open out of order. But that's all I'm doing. So I hope that helps. I hope that's a good little tip. It'll show you, this option summary still functions in here. It'll still show us now because there won't be any stock gain. It will just be all unrealized option profits. And can we when we close the trade, all we have to do is just remove the cash and bring that cash balance down to zero. So whatever that cash balance is, we're going to withdraw cash, and then this will close the trade off. And you guys have seen me do this before. That balance is 21,912.79, and we would just put those in, and then we would uncheck this box, assuming that it expired, and then everything functions just fine. we have recorded our gains in here. Everything is closed just like the wheel tracker works in normally with stock, but instead using that leap. The only other thing that I would have done to this sheet to make it correct is to label it, and I would just rename this tab Amazon. And if I use the term wheel, then it will keep them grouped together in here, and it should even appear over in my open options or my open wheel tab. By refreshing this, it'll automatically appear, and we will have the Amazon wheel inline there, and it will show the profit and loss and that we made this money, the trade was closed. I hope that helps. Now, if you're interested in getting a copy, I said there was 3 different ways to do it. Now, dividend members on Patreon get a free copy of the wheel option tracker. You can go to my website, drawbridgefinance.ca. You can pick up a copy there individually, or you can get it as part of the RORK as well, which is the Rolling Options Record Keeper. It is a tab down there, and that's what I showed you today. If you guys enjoyed today's video, remember to hit the like button. That helps my channel a ton, and let's get rich together. Thanks so much for watching.